All right, y'all. What's up, Neos? Yeah, work is slowing down and things are coming to conclusions, so it gives me a little bit more time to finally pump one of these out. I'll try to do more for the rest of the year and for the rest of the beginning of the next year and all that stuff once work starts picking back up. You know, if I'm not balling on YouTube, I'm probably going to have to go back to the other job, which I still like, so it's not a big deal. So, sorry about that, but here we go. First, let me tell you all, my name is Yusef for Video Game Plot Summaries, and this is Getting Up. Or I should say Marc Ecko's Getting Up. Contents under pressure. It looks smaller, but then you look closer and you're like, that's a lot. So, I don't get to hang around hip-hop spaces anymore. The best I can do is freestyle rapping in my shower. But I was more of a breakdancing and constantly listening to rap hip-hop head. I really wasn't into graffiti. But this game kind of helped me understand the culture a little bit more, which made me respect graph artists to the point that I never want to actually do it. I talked about all that in the Jet Set Radio Future review, so let's talk more about this game specifically. Now, as you might have guessed, this game received criticism on both ends of the spectrum. A lot of anti-graffiti types didn't like the way that the game gives you a step-by-step method of doing graffiti in your neighborhood. But on the other side, a lot of graffiti purists didn't like the commercialization of graffiti to the masses. A quick search on YouTube, and you find that there's some very strict rules to the culture that this game didn't quite cover. I mean, it goes like tags are the lowest form, and then if you got a tag, then you can cover your tag with a throw up, which is the bubble letters that has people's name. And then if you cover a throw up, it has to be a piece, and then the piece can be covered by a mural. And I think that's it, but I'm sure there's more into it because I'm not too big into the culture. But if you go in the opposite direction of any of those, then the artist can be all mad and try to slam you in the head with a brick or something. I don't know. This is the whole thing that I'm not into. Like, trying to look for open spaces to draw on and the face means that you're going to either get disrespected, or the cops are going to come after you, or you have to be respected enough or feared enough for nobody to mess with you. And I'm not the running type. You understand. I'm more like the YouTuber type. Now, should you want to play the game before this plot summary, I put the link up in the corner just to let you know whether it's good or not. You know what I mean? But I like the game. I've beaten it a few times just because I'm a 90s kid, and everything about the 90s was New York hip-hop heads telling everyone that they are the epicenter of all hip-hop culture. Then they weave these fantastic stories like they are superheroes, yo. This game is all of that. So let's get to the plot summary already. Boo! I don't know. I turned from a Fat Joe accent to a Italian accent there. I thought that was weird. Anyway. New Radius used to be alive, brimming with culture. That was the golden age. Word. I wish I was smart enough to appreciate that then. But now, they're watching, looking at our every move. New Radius isn't very friendly to graph artists, and if they catch you, it's a wrap. And if they don't, be ready to run forever and ever and ever and ever. New Radius is not friendly to graph artists. They're watching. They're watching your every move. Be ready to run forever. Be ready to run forever. So we start with Trane getting berated by his grandmother.
I told you to stop this nonsense about being a graffiti artist. All that scribbling isn't art. The streets are going to kill you like they kill your father if you stay on this track. Trane Crowley, if you leave now, I don't want you coming back.
She doesn't quite kick him out. He leaves because he's probably going to do some graffiti. She don't want him bringing the police to her home. I get that. The city of New Radius, which we all know is New York, has a mayor named Miguel Sung, and he is reforming the ghetto. But it's the wrong type of reform, if you know what I mean. Curfews, beatdowns, and other forms of suppression. It's real overdone, but apparently they don't have a voice in the ghetto, so the mayor can treat them however he wants. Miguel Sung is a weird name. It suggests that he is biracial Latinx and Korean. By the way, in the comments, can you guys please tell me which way is the right way to say it? Is it Latin X? I like to say Latin X. There's no hyphen. The X is small. Latinx is weird to me, and Latinx is just something I made up a second ago that just sounds like a bunch of Latinos have small butts or something. Little midget Latinos. Am I wrong for that? You go into the Latinx parade. This is a bunch of midgets dancing around to Calle Ocho or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Midget dance, midget dance. Anyway, I am wrong. I'm going to hell. All right. Yes, please let me know what the correct saying is. I'm going with Latin X. Maybe I should ask a Latino person or a Latin X person or a Latinx person. I don't know any Latinx. There is a crew named the Vandals of New Radius. And Trane is trying to leave his crap hole of an apartment. And one of these dudes just cracks Trane upside the head with a 4x4.
Toy ass biatch.
Trane didn't appreciate that, so he chases him. Trane writes graffiti as Trane because he's an idiot. Really? How the hell is your name that you write your actual legal name? Like, at any time, anybody could look at you and just call you Trane without even knowing that you are a graffiti artist. Oh my goodness, dude. Let me see some ID. No, never mind. It's right here. You Trane. Is your name Trane by any chance? No. Get out of my pocket, officer. Anyway, Trane chases Van R out of the building, and as Van R runs away, most of his crew is caught by the CCK cops for being out past curfew. Bam! Hope you enjoy your time in jail. Now, everybody has a natural enemy, and the natural enemy of graph artists are cops. I have no idea why police officers chase graffiti artists. Like, I suppose you want to stop them, but graffiti guys are all like parkour super runners with spray can backpacks. It just doesn't seem to make any sense to chase them if they bolt. The CCK are cops that not only chase you, but they beat you up. So Trane wants no part of that knuckle sandwich. Trane sneaks past the CCK, and in the next area, he runs into the Van R dude.
Yo, what are you doing, Toy?
As Trane beats up on the Van R guy, other members of the Vandals join in. It must be nice getting beat up by a guy who looks like he just got on lunch break from his classes at art school. So Trane KOs them and heads to the pool yard.
The legendary pool yard. If you got up here, you've arrived. Everyone raised up here from the beginning. From Coke 2 to Delta to Tats Crew to T-Kid to Mode 2. What? I learned a lot that day. A lot.
You gotta be kidding me. Look at Tweedledee and Tweedle fat like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you wanna try calling me fat ass to my face? Well, I'm from a place called Fresh Off a Nigga's Ass. You making me homesick.
I can't believe they got Charlie Murphy, R.I.P., to do the voice of White Mike and then forced him to use that old 1960s joke of, "You're making me homesick." Yo, what does that even mean? I'm from a city called Fresh Off a Dude's Butt anyway. What is that? Some sort of prison term? Is that some prison stuff you say to a dude to make him seem like they're about to throw you into a corner and have their way with you? That sounds sus as hell, man. Dude, if White Mike said this to me, I'd be like, you know what? Fine, whatever, dog. Let's not fight, man. I don't want to lose. There's more up for grabs than my money. You know what I'm saying? So Charlie Murphy, I refuse to call him White Mike, and Trane fight. And Trane somehow wins this fight. After fat shaming the shit out of Charlie Murphy and starting a fight, he beats the big dude up. That's kind of messed up, man. And Charlie Murphy just wanted to write, and here comes Trane up the sewer with fat jokes. He then proceeds to stomp Charlie with his Timbs. Then he writes over the art Chuck just did, calling him a fat ass. Like, how does that help anyone for real? Other graph artists are supposed to come by and just be like, fat ass is pretty dope, yo. See, this is why I don't mess around with cats from New Radius. Trane then goes and liberally puts his name up all over the pool yard, beating up vandals in the process. And at some point, he runs into a mural made by a Van R named Gabe, and he covers it up.
Yo, Gabe, that's him. That's that punk that's writing Trane.
That's Trane. Gabe, number 33, leader of the Vandals of New Radius. Gabe's crew pretty much held down the entire Lower East Side. A ratty bunch of trust fund kids rebelling against how good they had it. You could always spot them, cobalt, blue, and orange. They worshipped the New Radius Stunners, specifically their idol, number 33 center, Vandal Dallas.
Okay. You trying to go over my piece, huh? Suppose that makes you a legend. Are you bugging trying to write here? You know what this is, son, right? This is a vamp. Drop your shit. I want your paint, your black book. Give it up now.
First of all, I've never heard of a vamp in my life. Does anybody in the comments know what the hell that is?
Take your shit, fellas. You're fucking dead.
Let go of my black book!
Stop it! You guys are such assholes!
This nigga stepped on my case.
Hey, Gabe, you gonna let him serve you like that?
Next time, you need to study hard before you come into the home of the masters. This is real street bombing.
Hurts, huh? I got a hunch this game ain't for you. The Vandals rule this place. If I were you, I'd stay away from the abandoned art school. Sorry about your bag money. Here's a can of paint to hold you down.
Ugh, fuck. I can't believe they crossed my ass out. You don't have to go to school to get school. When you get vamped, they don't just take your paint, they take your pride. I wasn't going out like that, though. I may have been crossed out, but I was ready to flip the whole thing on them.
Is that what rich kids do now? They go into poor areas and write graffiti? Now, how many black rich kids are there in New Radius? It's part of this story that doesn't age well. We've seen two white boys in this story. One is fat as hell and voiced by Charlie Murphy, and the other is just some rich boy who hangs out in a poor area. It doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to suspend my disbelief, but these are the types of stories that piss me off about New York hip-hop in the 90s. Trane is an asshole here. He got hit by one guy, and he went on a mission to fuck with the whole crew. They show up, bust his ass after he fat-shamed a white boy minding his own business, and then he beat him up. We're supposed to feel sorry for Trane? Like, yo, they just trying to stop a brother from reaching the heights that he can with his art, B. Dude, there's rules to this shit, and the game kind of forces you to break them, but doesn't explain that Trane fucked up, yo. Then the old head comes through, gives him a can of paint, but doesn't explain anything to him. I gotta stop letting this game rile me up. So Trane gets X'd out and explicitly told not to go to the abandoned art school, so of course he's gonna go to the abandoned art school. So why wouldn't you?
I'm Karen Light. We've just received an update on the civil unrest at 24th and Main. According to the mayor's spokesman, the CCK raided a group of armed street thugs attempting to steal expensive satellite dishes. No officers were hurt and several arrests were made.
That's not how it went down.
I don't know why you would be stealing satellite dishes, but okay. Trane doesn't have any money, so he goes to the art store trying to bum some paint and runs into Tina, who's Gabe's girlfriend. She certainly was talking to Trane like she wasn't, though.
Nah, I'm good. I'm too slick to let you boys keep me down.
Slick. I'll be the judge of that.
That was Gabe's girl, Tina. I didn't know that at the time. Otherwise, I might have thought twice about wanting to hit it.
He also runs into one of the legends of graffiti, Futura. Futura drops some jewels of knowledge.
Hey, what's up? Looks like I'm the first one in here besides yourself. Listen, let me give you some tips on filling this book up. To be written in history, you have to know your history, and always respect the legend. When you see a legend piece on the street, underground, wherever, take a flick of it and keep it in your black book. This is your Bible.
That face mapping makes him look like a straight rat, though. Here you go. Let's put some of his work up here, too, for reference. Yo, this dude's pretty nice. It looks like he's extended his style to metalwork as well, and some of these characters are really abstract. It reminds me of Invader Zim. With that done, Trane parkours his way into the abandoned art school. He's planning on living there rent-free, but first, he has to clear some people out. And after beating up a Vandal member and taking his home away from him, he interrogated the same guy to tell him the rest of the crew went to the subway. But first, Trane can't get to the rest of the gang with Toy written on his shirt now, can he?
So they crossed me out, huh? I'ma flip the whole script on them. I couldn't shake it. Everywhere I looked, all I could seem to focus on was spot after spot after spot, and how I was gonna bomb it. It was on, and the subways was my next canvas.
On the subway, Trane runs into Cope 2, who drops some more knowledge.
Oh, Cope 2. Yo, would you mind getting up in my black book?
Look, man, it doesn't matter how fresh your style is if nobody sees it. The more spots you get up, the better, so stay up, Trane. If the subway's one thing, man, remember it's dangerous, so watch out for oncoming trains. And don't step on the third rail, because if you do, it's the last thing you'll ever do.
Then does a Batman on Trane. And Cope 2 is one of those guys who writes his name a lot. Like, even in the murals, he really likes to write his name, like, a lot. If you get past the bubble letters and find the murals, it's pretty dope. One thing is for sure, the colors are gonna hijack your eyes. And Cope 2 gives Trane an assignment to bomb actual subway cars in yard. Of course, he runs into some vandals beating a dude's ass, so Trane, of course, heads over there to save him.
Yeah, you heard those chumps good. Yo, I write Cry One, man. What crew do you rep? Wrong Way Assassins?
Nah, Duke, I work solo. But tell me, you seen that preppy kid that's been rolling with Gabe lately?
You mean Dip? Oh, you'll find him in that direction. Take the subway car here to LaSalle Avenue and jump off at the big curve. See, I know shit. Yo, if you ever think about starting a crew, I got some def names for some. Yo, it looks like your ride is leaving. You better hitch on if you want to make it.
After receiving Cry One's info, Trane literally hops on a train and bombs it while he is waiting for it to reach the destination. It's getting shit done, man.
The infamous LaSalle Avenue station. Sweet revenge. Dip. The extra slick one. He always had the latest kicks on. always brand new with his. Crisp all the way down to the crease in his pants. Don't sleep on his pretty boy image. He was always ready for action.
You know, I would never want to get in a scrap if I was so preppy like that, but then again, I ain't from the city, yo. And Trane beats Dip up and then uses Cope 2's info about the third rail to get info from Dip.
Okay. Downtown, at Lawrence Meats, in the meatpacking district. Probably with Spleen in there. Yeah, you come down to the meatpacking district and you'll get yours. You're dead, man, dead!
No dead meat line, huh? So Trane heads to the meatpacking district, and on his way he runs into Cry 1 again. He's got recon.
Hey, if you want to weigh into Gabe's hideout, wait for a meat truck to enter the plant and hitch a ride inside. Gabe's crib is in the closed-down section of the plant. Did I do good or what? Come on, let me be in your crew now. SFC, is that fresh or what?
F? Still free. Still free crew. I can't front, that's alright by me. You know what? I got a first duty for my new recruit. Watch my back and don't get in my way. Now fall back.
I'm down for whatevs.
Trey makes Cry 1 his spotter, and then runs into a graph legend named Smith.
Smith? Is that you? Like, the Smith?
Who wants to know?
Oh, I write Trane, man.
Yo, I've seen some of your work. Not bad if you want to be king of toys. In order to be a legend, it's not all about what you get up, but how. Learn to lay low and be less obvious. I can smell your ass a mile away.
Okay. Now that would be a good place for a tag. SFC representing.
Now this is interesting. Smith is part of a duo of brothers named Sane and Smith. They are famous for a $3 million lawsuit where the city sued them for the damages after they painted their names all over the Brooklyn Bridge. However, Sane's dead body ended up in the rivers of Flushing Bay, and no one knows why. Because of this, the city dropped the lawsuit. Smith influences Trane to throw his name up in a spot that makes him more known. I mean, Trane wasn't listening. Smith was over there telling him to be stealthy, and then Trane just did whatever the hell he wanted. Check the video.
Learn to lay low and be less obvious. I can smell your ass a mile away.
Okay. Now that would be a good place for a tag.
Unfortunately, Cry 1 just gave him a new name for his new crew. So he rolls to the side of the building, dodges the helicopter lights so that he can get his crew's name on a meatpacking plant. A meatpacking plant! Just as he finishes, the meatpacking plant truck shows up and he makes his way in. And Trane runs through the meatpacking plant and gets to the Vandal hideout.
I made it into the inner lair of the Vandal. They worship the Stunners. They would steal any Stunners memorabilia they could get their hands on. But there was one way to really piss off Gabe.
Of course, pissing off Gabe means unveiling a new catalog of hatin'-ass cover-up graffiti. Let's keep in mind that the whole reason that Trane got X'd out is because he was covering over their stuff to begin with. He only really had beef with that first Van R guy who hit him with the 4x4. I mean, look at this shit. Well, of course, when he finishes making his hater art, he gets caught again.
Spleen was Gabe's heavy, a stocky Dominican kid who was Gabe's yes man. He'd vamp anyone he didn't recognize. Legend has it, he once robbed Cry 1 of his paint, made him get down to his underwear, and had his ass doing push-ups before he let him go. He'd kill for Dulce and Bomba. His girls, he'd call them. The only thing more fierce than them was the way Spleen could handle a machete.
And to be fair, Cry 1 looks like he could get vamped by a third grader. I know graffiti artists are down to fight, but if one of the graph guys pulls out a machete or anything more lethal than that, I'm out of there. Trane finishes off Spleen, and Tina hurries Trane out before anyone else shows up.
Trane, you gotta get out. Over here. Gabe's gonna have his shit fit.
Thanks, I'm out. Yo, why you with his ass anyways?
All right, guys, you know the tune. We're going to have to stop right there and wait till next week for the conclusion, I believe. Man, Trane's over there talking to homegirl like she has a better option than him. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, yo, you should drop that dude and hang out at the school with me. At the abandoned school, the rent is free. We can bone on my one chair as much as we want. Yo, you'll be living the dream, man. The whole school will be yours. The whole condemned building. You could have a whole studio to yourself and shit. Yeah. Yo, why you over here hanging out with a rich kid in the basement when you can hang out with a poor kid in the skyline? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's the end for this week. Trane, to me, is a pretty, he's an ill protagonist as far as what they dressed him up as. I think the costume designer really hit home with it. Made him look like he was going to war, but with graffiti. You know what I'm saying? The X on his back is really good, Marc. It's iconic, man. I mean, if he was actually famous or popular. And it's like one of the very rare times somebody's wearing Timbs where I don't feel like punching him in the face. New Yorkers with them Timbs, yo. We got Timbs all day. What is it, summer? It's like 115 degrees outside. Yo, put them Timbs on, B. That's like the only no fail for them. Timberlands and big baggy jeans, or Timberlands and fatigue pants, you know. Alright, man, in the South, man, ain't nobody want to be wearing Timbs all day, man. Like, we drive cars and stuff, man. Like, we get nice cars, we drive around, man. Come on, man. Timbs, man, who be fighting all the time, man? Timbs. We're gonna be walking. Anyway, next week, the story will ramp up a little bit more. I mean, right now, it's just, you know, Gabe and Trane beefing. And so that'll be, you know, where it starts back up. Might get a little bit more dicey than that. I don't know, man. Maybe somebody will pull out a machine gun. Maybe somebody will get cut schmoove. You know how New Yorkers are. Maybe somebody will pull a razor blade out of their mouth and then slice people up. Who knows? Who knows what? Well, I know, but who knows what's gonna happen? Maybe you'll get that ill, you know. Talib Kweli will be like, slice a motherfucker up, yo. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. You guys saved me like Neo saved Agent Smith. Peace. Oh, like and subscribe, by the way. That'd be cool.
Like, subscribe, and hit the bell.